Hi there, my name is Todd Welter. Thank you for watching this Quickenar. This one is about credentialing. Credentialing in this day and age is incredibly important, that it is done correctly and by people that really understand the credentialing process. Credentialing is not just, yes, my doctor is a doctor, or yes, our facility, has a license. When you say credentialing to somebody, they go, oh yeah, we're credentialed. Credentialing these days is more than that. It's how a payer, for example, Medicare especially, sees that provider. Medicare, for example, is one of the ones that we're most concerned about these days, is they are now revalidating all Medicare providers. All of the revalidation will be done. Every single provider of any kind must be revalidated by March of 2015. And you might say to yourself, well, we have lots of time. But you don't. What's happening is they're sending out these notices. And we're going to try to get a copy of that notice, or at least the website for those notices, up on our website, which is www.rtwelter.com. If you go to our website, you'll see a whole section on credentialing, and if you ever have any questions, please call us. So what Medicare is doing is they're sending out these revalidation, basically like a request form, and you can either do it online or you can do it on paper. Even if you do it online, you still have to print it and sign it. You have to do it in the right color ink. Anything that gets in the way of these things will inevitably mean that your provider will be literally thrown out of the Medicare system. Now imagine if that happens. Even if your provider doesn't see Medicare patients, many of your managed care contracts say that you have to be a Medicare provider. Many of your hospital contracts or hospital privileges say that you have to be a Medicare provider. These letters are coming out at various times to various providers, and you have 60 days to be sure that you do it and you submit the right information. Again, think this through. If you have 60 days, if you make a mistake, the way, it takes time for the information to get to the right person, takes time to get stuff in the mail, takes time to get through the mail, then they send it back, takes time to do that, and so you're eating up a lot of time here, and you have to have it right in 60 days, or again, you could be thrown out of the Medicare system. That is huge. So that's just one example of what credentialing really is and how important it is. Credentialing is equally as important for all of the commercial managed care payers, United Healthcare, Aetna, Cigna, whatever. They have to, NCQA requires that they credential providers, and they have to re-credential providers at some kind of interval. So anything that comes to a practice or to your facility, it needs to get to the right people right away so that they can get the information back out and make sure it's done properly. Some evidence that you may not be credentialed are billing problems. We find that a lot of practices and maybe smaller facilities have problems with payment, and after we dig around and really look into it, more often than not, we find that the issue is a credentialing issue, that somehow the provider was not set up properly, somehow the payer, whoever, somebody made a mistake and they listed the physician or other provider improperly. For example, you might have a specialist, and for some reason the credentialing wasn't done well, and on either end, not necessarily on your part, on the part of the provider, it may be misloaded on the payer side, but they were listed as a primary care physician as opposed to a specialist, or the reverse often happens. And so then they're listed in the payer's information improperly. They may be listed on a website improperly. They may have a different copay attached to their service, And so what looks like a billing problem is really not a billing problem. The problem lies in how they were set up from the beginning. Credentialing goes beyond that to, the bylaws of the hospital, to how governance works, to regulatory bodies of all kinds. We have found, as a company that does a lot of healthcare consulting, we do a lot of billing, we do a lot of credentialing, we have found when we go to help a practice or a facility with what they think is a billing issue, that again, more often than not, it's really that the providers were set up improperly with one provider or one payer or another. So if you ever have issues with billing that you just can't seem to fix, look at it from a credentialing point of view. And please, there's a lot of people out here that'll be happy to help you, including us. So if you have any trouble, if you have a question, give us a shout. Again, our website, www.rtwelter.com. Our phone number, 303-534-0388. Have a great day.